some point on your spiritual journey, audience building becomes the natural next step that you know that you need to take. And for a lot of people, they might not actually be sure if they're at that point where audience building is what they need to do next. And for me, when I hit that point, it was just like pretty obvious that that was what I had to be doing, even though I really, when I started, I had no idea exactly what I needed to do, and I had to invest in myself, and I had to try a lot of things. But for me, it was obvious that that was the next step that I simply had to do. And one of the ways to tell if you're at a point where audience building is what you need to do is when you run up against that point of not really having that group of people who believe in you and who support you and who see the world from your perspective. And sometimes this comes after a specific experience. Sometimes it's after, you know, isolating yourself for a while, either because you want to or because, like COVID, it seems like there's external circumstances that bring this about. And sometimes for people, they have like a small community already of people who are really into what they do and, you know, already had clients, already had some people, and they have this need to expand beyond that because if you're just affecting your own little community of a few people, that doesn't really translate into having an effect on the whole world, which at a certain point you realize I need to expand beyond the few people that I've been able to help, and I need to help more people, and what I do needs to have a greater impact. And for a lot of people, this can be scary because it's like putting your belief system to the test. Does it really hold up to the rest of the world? Does it really stand up under scrutiny, under non-believers, under people who don't believe you and who are very critical of what you do? But you don't have to go right and just like join the Skeptic Society and, you know, start in on trying to convert some like hardcore atheist skeptic or some fundamentalist who is very rigid in their thinking. It's more about putting yourself in front of the people who you know you're called to help. So that's like the first place that you start. But really, in terms of audience building, there's a lot of different things to consider about where you're going to start, and that really depends a lot on your individual journey, because everybody has had a different journey. Even though they may do the same things, even if you practice the same modalities as somebody else, you're going to have a different life journey and different life experiences that will show you what, you know, who you need to help and basically what your purpose is. And sometimes there's like groups of people that we think we really need to help, and I really need to help these people and I really need to get them the results, but sometimes they're just not ready for the results. They're just not ready to change their lives. They're just not ready to heal. They're just not ready to hear the message. from spirit, they're just not ready. And sometimes you have to take a step back from that and reevaluate who you're working on adding to your audience. And that can be a process of a lot of trial and error. And having been through the process myself, I really have a lot of questions for people who are on that journey. And knowing that I've done it myself, I know that I can help others get through that, because for some people that can be really hard, because you can seem like you're having almost an uphill battle of explaining things to people. But sometimes it's just like stepping outside of that group and trying another group of people who may actually be more receptive, even though you might not initially think, oh, that's going to be a more receptive group of people. It might actually be the more receptive group of people.